Welcome! This is the first full-length episode of Business English with Lukasz Angowski. If you are wondering how coronavirus, also called COVID-19, has impacted the business world, you will find the details here. Interested? Continue listening! Many of us were caught by surprise when we heard the news about the pandemic affecting hundreds of thousands of people around the world. I was one of those who initially thought the virus was far away and would not spread to Europe but rather would stay contained in Asia. Nevertheless, COVID-19 came suddenly and very quickly overwhelmed many European countries as well as the US. I do not follow the updates on it each day, but it seems it still remains a major issue and has reached almost all countries in the world by now. The consequences of the pandemic have been massive in many aspects of life, but in this episode I will focus only on the business aspect. In order to prevent the virus from spreading, many governments decided to mandate all sorts of lockdowns and forced their citizens to stay at home. Border controls were brought back in place, commercial flights were completely banned, and in some countries people's right to free travel became temporarily revoked. Regulations were put in place that limited free trade and encouraged various businesses to temporarily suspend their activities. Employers were faced with tough decisions as to whether to try to change their business models and continue operating in a limited capacity or close down entirely. Employees, on the other hand, lost their jobs, got their salaries reduced, or in the best case scenario, started worrying about their company's ability to survive the crisis. Wherever possible, companies implemented full-time working from home policy. Governments announced they would support the ailing businesses by providing them with financial subsidies. In the light of massively reduced sales and most of the purchases moving to the internet platforms instead of regular stores, this had to be done to at least try and save jobs in places such as shopping malls. We will have to wait and see what the effects of these actions will be, but without any doubt, it can be said that they seem to be too little and too late. It has been reported that in the US, over 20 million people have lost their jobs already because of the virus, and it does not seem likely these positions will be recovered in the near future. Nobody, even the best financial experts, is able to tell when the crisis will end and how to overcome it in the most effective way. We must hope the measures implemented will at least mitigate the consequences of the precarious situation we found ourselves in. Interesting phrases, words to remember. To impact the world. To be caught by surprise. To affect people. To be contained. To overwhelm. A major issue. Massive consequences. To focus on something. To prevent from spreading. To mandate a lockdown. To ban something. To revoke a right. To suspend your activities. To be faced with a tough decision. To close down a business. An ailing business organization. To save jobs. To mitigate the consequences. A precarious situation. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for the next episode coming soon. If you have any questions about the words used in this episode, feel free to ask in the comments section. Thank you.